In the middle of the 19th century, the railroad is transforming America. In just a few decades, over 100,000 miles of track are built, connecting the continent for the first time. It's a heroic chapter in American history, but it creates an unexpected problem. Here's the issue. The railroads are connecting all of these towns that have historically maintained their own individual time set by a local reading of the sun. In the 1880s, there were hundreds of towns, each using its own local time, each differing not by the hour, but by the minute. There were 23 different times in Indiana, 27 in Michigan, and 38 across Wisconsin. What makes it even worse is that in addition to each town having its own time, each railroad had its own time, and there were 50 different railroads. So back then, taking a journey by rail was something of an adventure which could leave you more than a little confused. Alan has a major fight on his hands because the proposal of standard time is a deeply controversial idea, and many Americans are afraid of it. Alan starts an enormous lobbying campaign, writing nearly 600 letters and countless circulars to mayors and city councils to try to cajole and arm twist them into signing up. But there's fierce opposition to the prospect of change. A paper in Cincinnati writes, "It's simply preposterous. Let the people of Cincinnati stick to the truth as it is written by the sun, moon, and stars." Alan finally triumphs. All of which leads to one of the strangest days in the history of time, November 18th, 1883, the day of two noons. The first noon rings out at St. Paul's in the New York local time. And then, 4 minutes later, there's another noon, the first ever 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, announced by the bells of Trinity Church. As the bells ring out, the new standard time is sent down the telegraph lines for all the railroad stations to set their clocks to. America goes from hundreds of times to just 4. And rail travel becomes a hell of a lot easier. The very next year, Greenwich Mean Time is set up as the International Meridian, and the whole world is divided up into time zones. With this new web of time wrapped around the world, we are now more closely connected to foreign countries through improved trade, travel, and communications.